asked my man, am I the most beautiful girl you've ever seen? And I could just tell he was lying!
A lot of guys who are in their like mid to late 30s and who have not settled down yet, maybe they like have never been married, they can't keep a serious relationship, they use this excuse that they are so busy with work that they can't have a girlfriend or they can't have a committed relationship. There's obviously a lot of things wrong with that. Number one, they're basically saying like their job is so demanding and so hard, you wouldn't understand. You and your job could never understand how hard they're working. And it's like, no, your job is not more important than mine, and you don't work any harder at your job than I do. You just have a fear of commitment.
Listen, Karen, when a guy tells you, I'm busy, it's just the polite way of saying, I'd rather work overtime than spend free time with you. You're screaming about job equality, but the market value of their time clearly outstrips yours if they can afford to ignore you. This fear of commitment is rational. Nobody wants to invest in a depreciating asset that brings nothing to the table but complaints.
For example, my fiance is the founder of a company. He works all the time. He loves to golf. He's involved in organizations. He has a healthy social life with his guy friends, but never once have I felt like any of those things have gotten in the way of our relationship. He's very communicative. He is very committed, and he prioritizes me. And I've never once felt like any of those things have ever gotten in the way of our relationship at all.
Well, that's because your fiance is already trapped, so he has to comply with your demands. He prioritizes you because he knows the penalty for ignoring you is a headache he doesn't have time for. He's a founder with resources, meaning he's currently useful to you. The moment that utility drops, we'll see how much you appreciate his healthy social life.
I feel like some guys, all of that sounds really overwhelming, so they just don't even try. They don't even try to make the commitment. And trust me, I've dated people who have said, you know, I'm just prioritizing work right now. Work is really stressful. There's no way I could balance having a relationship and working. And my mistake was I worked so hard to prove to them that like I'm not a burden. Like I wouldn't be taking up any extra time for them. The thing I wish I could go back and tell myself is that I could work as hard as I possibly could, but there's nothing I could do because that person just isn't emotionally available and they're never going to commit. So my best advice if you're dealing with somebody like this is not a project worth taking on. Cut your losses while you can and focus your energy on people who actually want to commit to you.
So you actually admit you viewed these men as projects to be worked on. Newsflash, men aren't fixer-uppers for your amusement. If you have to campaign to prove you aren't a burden, you already are one. They didn't lack emotional availability. They lacked interest in a woman who thinks not being a nuisance is a selling point rather than a basic requirement. You didn't cut your losses, they cut you loose.
So I stopped talking to a guy because he took too long to reply to me, and I feel like my reasoning is justified, but I know I can be a little bit insane sometimes. But hear me out. So all last week it was going well. We were talking, we really hit it off, like same values, same sense of humor, and yeah, like it doesn't often happen where I actually am speaking to someone, getting along really well with them, and I actually genuinely want to meet them. So yeah, that was how I felt about the situation. He was also giving that energy and expressing that he felt the same way. So then Saturday rolls around and we were talking normal in the morning, and then just midday, nothing. So I was like, cool, he's probably got plans, he's seeing his friends or his family. He doesn't have to reply to me straight away. And then the evening rolls around and I still haven't got anything. And I'm like, it's a bit rude at this point because of how much we've been speaking prior to this, and you just think it's acceptable to just not. Like even a courtesy text, like, sorry, I'm busy, I'll speak to you later. That was like all I would want in that situation, basically. I don't want the full back and forth because you're busy, you're seeing people, I understand that. So I didn't get anything all day.
We all know this type, the I need attention person. She hasn't even met the guy and she's already spiraling because he dared to enjoy a Saturday without her. She calls his silence rude, but the rest of us just call it having a life. Fellas, if she can't handle 12 hours of silence from a stranger, imagine the absolute hell she'll rain down on you when you actually miss a phone call.
21 hours later, Sunday morning, this man texts me and he's like, have you had a good weekend? And I'm thinking like, the weekend's not even over yet. It's halfway through the weekend. Why are you asking me? So I was like, yeah, it was all right. I'm being mad fucking blunt at this point because I'm like, you've taken the piss. You're showing this energy and this behaviour at the beginning. Like, I'm not interested in that. Like, I'm not fucking about. You're either into me or you're not. So yeah, I was being really blunt, and then he said, like, did you get up to much? And I was like, no, just chilled. I didn't ask him what he did. His next message was, I went out. Just that, I went out. It's like, well, fucking no shit, Sherlock. Obviously you went out because you fucking aired me for almost a day. I didn't think you were fucking dead.
So he actually circles back to check on her, and her strategy is to be mad fucking blunt to punish him. He gave her a vague, I went out, because he sensed the hostility radiating through the screen. He wasn't hiding anything. He was just gray rocking a psycho who thinks she owns his Saturday night.
And then I think there was like a couple more messages exchanged. And then again, midday, just stops fucking replying to me. So I'm a bit over it at this point, because I'm like, all of this shit you've been saying last week is bullshit, basically. Because if you were actually interested and you did want to progress and meet me and go on dates and whatever, you wouldn't be longing me off for a whole fucking day. 2 days in a row, you wouldn't fucking do that. So I just took away the opportunity to reply. I deleted my last message, I unmatched him from the dating app, and I unfollowed him and deleted the chat. Because I'm like, you had your opportunity to reply. I'm very much like, I don't care, unless you're on fucking death's door. 12 hours is a sufficient amount of time to reply to a fucking message if you wanted to. You obviously didn't want to. You were using me during the week because you were bored, and I was someone to entertain you, and then the weekend rolls around, you've got better plans, you've got no fucking time for me, so you're not replying to me anymore. It's as simple as that. So I'm not interested. I feel like I won't get a reply now, because obviously I deleted my last message, and that's quite a telltale sign that I'm no longer interested.
You deleted the message to save face, not to set a boundary. You claim he used you for entertainment, but you're the one demanding 24/7 digital servitude from a stranger. If 12 hours of silence on a weekend causes you to nuke the connection, you don't want a partner, you want a captive audience. He didn't lose interest, he just realized the subscription cost for your attention was too high.
But yeah, anyway, do you know what the annoying thing is? Yeah, so I went for him and he wasn't even my type, so I was like, no, do you know what? We will try someone that's not my type. We'll try someone older. We'll try someone that's got a career, a nice, good job. And still, the behaviour is this. So, yeah. Done with that one. Another one bites the dust. Likely to be another story similar to this in a couple of weeks. But I'll keep you posted. Anyway.
The classic, he wasn't my type anyway defense mechanism. It's the sour grapes of the dating world. You admit you tried to date a man with a career and a life, then got mad when that career and life took precedence over texting you. You didn't go for him. You auditioned for a role you weren't qualified to play, and you got cut from the cast.
Dating is boring and men are not interesting. I do not care if I get a free meal, okay? My time is not worth a $20 green curry at a Thai restaurant. Men get to stare at me for an hour. They get to giggle. They get to blush. They get to kick their little feet. And what do I get out of it? A meal that I could make myself. A meal that I could pay for myself. I have to stare at someone who's honestly not that attractive, let's be so real, and who brings nothing to the table. I don't care how much a man makes. If you can't make me laugh, you can't do a lot of other things. Women are taught to be perfect. Perfect. In the way that we look, in the way that we think, in the way that we act, with literally everything we do. And what are men taught? That the way that they are is okay. Men are taught that their existence is acceptable, regardless of what that existence is. I encounter men in their 20s who have acne. It's like, did you not get a skincare routine during COVID like I did? Why do you have a neck beard? You're on a date, why didn't you brush your hair? Why are you wearing sneakers? Why aren't you even trying to look nice? You're not even trying. I asked them what they do for fun. All they do, they go to work, they go to the gym. The gym, I never see a bicep. I don't see any muscles. Like, what's it gonna take for you to pick up a book that isn't Atomic Habits?
You honestly believe men are kicking their little feet in excitement? They're fidgeting because they're looking for the exit sign. You rant about neckbeards, acne, and bad sneakers, but here is the reality check you desperately need. High-value men don't date women who bring nothing to the table but a superiority complex. If you are consistently sitting across from unattractive men, it's not because the dating pool is shallow, it's because that is exactly where the market has valued you.
Are you also an outgoing woman who, like, will approach a man but also doesn't want to approach a man, and then she like teeters between like, wow, should I go up to the man and be like, yeah, hey, hi, I'm sexy, I'm here, or should I just be like, cool girl, shy girl, like, I'm shy, come to me. And then nothing ever happens. And so you're just like in this rut of like, okay, what is the right thing to do? And then the right thing is just it's not clicking. And you're just sitting in here like, what am I supposed to do? Because I don't have the dating apps. God forbid a girl doesn't have the dating apps. I don't want a fucking breeding ground of people that I'm not supposed to meet in my real life. I'm done with that shit. And then, I lay out everything that I'm interested in, and you have a book of what you can talk to me about because you're cheating. Do you even give a fuck? Or did you just read what I literally gave you? I'm struggling. I have been blessed with like a lot of hot men around me lately. I don't know, something's in the air. Something is in the air. I don't know what to do. So just like literally handcuff me and take me away. Because my mind is a prison.
You're paralyzed by an ego that demands to be chased while offering zero incentive for the pursuit. You label dating apps as cheating simply because men actually read your profile to find a topic. Heaven forbid a guy uses the information you provided to get to know you. Those hot men stay away because you radiate a high maintenance energy that screams "don't bother" louder than any verbal rejection.
Men seem to think that women owe them something based on the fact that if there was a war, they would have to go and protect the country. And it's always the red pill men over 30 saying this stuff. But like, the government doesn't want you, babe. The only battle that you'll ever fight is the one against your receding hairline. The last time men were forced to go to war, they only wanted the ones under 26. So sit down, sir.
You mock the concept of protection because you've never spent a single day without it. You ridicule their hairlines and age while enjoying the air-conditioned safety their labor provides. The military might want them young, but you'll scream for these useless men the second real danger knocks on your door. You don't hate the draft, you just hate admitting that your entire comfortable existence depends on men you deem unattractive.
Let us not forget about the time when I went on a first date. We were going to a cocktail bar, really nice cocktail bar here in Chicago, but the drinks are strong, like very strong, good drinks. I get there, my date is almost 25 minutes late. He said it's because of work, and I'm like, okay, I get it. I have a busy job too, so I waited. He gets there, we both order a drink. He then orders a second, I'm still on my first. He then orders a third, I'm still on my first. Then the waiter comes back and I was like, okay, well, we're definitely gonna pay. He orders a fourth drink and I was just like, you know, when you're just like in a situation, you're like, I don't know what to do, blah, 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 blah. So I just ordered another one, okay?
You waited nearly half an hour for a stranger, watched him power level his way to liver failure, and your solution was to order another round. You claim you didn't know what to do, but the exit door was right there. You didn't stay because you were polite. You stayed because you have absolutely no boundaries. You essentially volunteered to be the audience for a stranger's bender.
He finishes his fourth, the waiter comes back. I was like, okay, we're done, we're out of here. My date goes, oh, I'll have another. And I was like, no. Without even looking at me, he looks to the waiter and goes, oh, she's fine. She'll hang out while I have another one. So I was in shock. So I stand up, I go to the bathroom, I text my friends, Sydney and Chris, and I was just like, red alert, while simultaneously placing a pickup order at Chipotle because I was like, I'm gone. I get out of the bathroom. He had chugged his fifth cocktail. The waiter comes back with the card reader so we could pay. Because even the waiter was like, this girl wants to get the F out of here.
You went to the bathroom to text red alert and order a burrito, but you came right back to the table. That isn't a safety strategy. That is cowardice. A woman with self-respect would have kept walking out the front door the moment he dismissed her. You stayed because you're addicted to the drama of the bad date more than you value your own time.
Now, mind you, he's wasted. Conversation has been so weird the whole time because he is wasted off of these 5 cocktails. He puts down the card reader. My date just looks at me, waiting for me to take out my credit card. I look at him. I just go, you ordered 5 drinks. No. He begrudgingly takes out his wallet, puts down his card, and pays. We finally get up to leave. He's like stumbling. He's kind of slurring. Never saw him again. But PSA, if you are going to order 5 cocktails on a first date, man or woman, be prepared to pay for them.
You sat through 5 rounds of binge drinking just so you could feel morally superior at the payment terminal. You aren't a survivor here, you're an enabler. You tolerated disrespect for 2 hours just to get a funny story for the internet, proving that your need for attention completely outweighs your common sense.